Hi, I'm Coy-Jandreau. I am here for myself with the director of Morbius and one of its leads. I love this film so very much. Daniel Espinosa and Adria Arjona. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Now, this movie, to me, felt like it was endeared to the world of comics without being beholden to it. Was there any pressure in levels of pre-production, production, post-production that you felt the shared mythology pressure? Do you make a movie differently when you know it's part of something bigger like that?
No, I mean, not really. I think that the idea of just making movies completely fills you with paralyzing anxiety and major scares of death. And that is constant on a small movie as it is on a big movie. So no, not really.
I love that. Just freedom because of pressure.
Yeah.
Now, on the other side, you both have this tradition of largely tense, very claustrophobic films. Like both of your work have this really intense structure to them, whether it's acting or directing. Is that something you feel is a sense of escapism because you see the world as beautiful and bright, or does it reflect your own worldview for each of you?
Maybe it's a big coincidence. I don't know. I had never really thought about it that way, but now that you put it that way, maybe, yeah. I don't know how to explain it, but I don't know if I pick material based on, pieces as a whole. I do sometimes, but I really, what character am I going to be spending the next 3 months with? Who's directing and who are the actors? Because that's the most important thing. Sometimes the movie comes out and it could do really well, or maybe it doesn't do really well, but that time that I had, I can't really take back, can I? So I really like to spend my time with good people and make sure that I'm, becoming a character that I enjoy spending time with.
I think that in my life, we fled from Chile, from dictatorship. I've been through like a whole mess. So yes, I think a bit of like the darker traits of the pictures have to do something with my darker issues that I don't want to talk about.
Fair enough.
Make movies about.
It comes out in the art.
Exactly.
It's a bit speaking to Adria's point about the chicken and the egg of choosing roles. This is a movie that has a lot of backstory on the page, but it also feeds more backstory. Like you gave the ship itself backstory, which I love because that's where we meet Morbius and Amazing Spider-Man 101, and you gave it purpose. Is that something that when you either come to the role as an actress or come to the film as a director, what do you let feed first? Your own opinion of the character or the source material?
They both kind of melt into each other. I think what's fun with the Marvel movies that it's when I started reading Marvel, comic books when I was a kid, I loved the idea that it was like a cipher. That there were small puzzles that would make me understand the greater world. In Sweden, we would only get a few of the comic books. So I would get them and I try to decipher how the rest of the Marvel world really looked like. And when I make a movie, I want the movie also to have like all those small ciphers, those small ideas.
I love that you're a comic fan and it shows. Adria, did you go back and look into the source to inform things, or did you just try to have the character off the page and form your choices?
Look, I think when you're making a movie like this, my main source was the script that was given. That was the story that we were telling, the version of the character that we were telling. Like, yes, did I do my research and did I read the comics and did I dive in? Absolutely. Did I bombard everyone I knew for questions? Yes, but at the end of the day, I had to rely with what was in front of me. And I think if I had a question or if maybe Daniel wanted to shift something, it was, a true collaboration. And we would go to set and sometimes we would discuss it and maybe it shifted here and there, but, everything was mostly on the page and I relied on that.
Now, Daniel, you've worked with Ryan Reynolds twice and Jake Gyllenhaal once. These guys are in this action space and now very much in the comic book space. Did they give you any warnings or advice before you signed on to a comic book movie specifically?
Ryan was among the first people I called, when I was going to make Morbius, to talk about the prosthetics, to talk about arcs. He's always been a very good friend, and he gave me a lot of, strong, insightful advice. Ryan is also like a great producer himself, and a great kind of catapultist, And Jake, no, we never spoke about Marvel comics, but with Ryan, yes, they are both very smart people. So any insights you can get from them is worth gold. So yeah, but I can't tell you what because it's secret.
Okay, you can't tell what the things said were.
I have a story that I'm going to ask you right now about Ryan.
Yeah.
Just remember.
Oh, see, now I gotta know.
The
inside baseball.
But one thing that Ryan told me was that Adria Arjona is a superstar because they had just worked on the movie with
Six Underground.
Yeah, exactly. And he couldn't stop talking about, you know, how impressed he was of Adria, and that also made a big impression on me, you know.
So Ryan gave me the job.
No, man, you got the job.
I saw the movie. You definitely gave you the job.
Yeah.
Well, I love that it all came from comics and back to comics, and I love that you're a fan and it shows, and you both put your heart into this thing, and it really sings. So I really appreciate it as a fan of the books.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks again, folks. Beautiful work.